Good morning everyone, this is Ken Jasper View and this is my description, analysis, interpretation, and judgment about the editorial cartoon that I found in newspaper. My description would be, the editorial cartoon in question depicts a newsroom scene with a large fake news factory as sign above it. The cartoon shows journalists manufacturing exaggerated or false stories on a conveyor belt, which are then delivered to unsuspecting readers and to some newscaster. The cartoon uses caricatures of journalists wearing hats with the words sensationalism and misleading on them. The overall tone of the cartoon is one of the condemnation and cynicism towards the media. Based on my analysis, this editorial cartoon takes a critical stance towards the media, accusing it of being a fake news factory. The imagery of journalists manufacturing fake stories on a conveyor belt is a stark portrayal of how some view of the media's role in spreading misinformation. The cartoon suggests that journalists are driven by sensationalism and misleading, implying that they prioritize attracting readers over delivering accurate news. Based on my interpretation, the cartoon seems to suggest that the media industry, or at least a significant portion of it, is engaged in the deliberate creation and dissemination of false or exaggerated information. It implies that journalists are complicit in the spread of fake news, either due to ulterior motives or pressure from their organizations to prioritize sensationalism over accuracy. My judgment would be, while this cartoon raises important concern about the media's role in society, it oversimplifies a complex issue. It's essential to remember that not all journalists or media outlets engage in creating fake news. Many journalists are committed to upholding journalistic ethics and delivering accurate information to the public. While there have been instances of sensationalism and misleading, it's unfair to generalize and label the entire industry as a fake news factory. Instead of perpetuating cynicism, we should encourage media literacy and critical thinking among readers to discern credible sources from unreliable ones. This cartoon's judgmental portrayal of the media may hinder productive discussions about media ethics and the importance of the free press in a democratic society.
This editorial cartoon depicts a poignant scene involving the agricultural issue of rice production. In the illustration, a slender figure at the bottom of the image represents a hard-working farmer holding a sack of rice on their shoulder. Above, a hand symbolizing the government or a governing authority extends downwards, gripping a price tag. The scene unfolds against a stark background. The cartoonist skillfully employs various elements of art to convey the message effectively. Bold and contrasting lines, ranging from thin to thick, define the figures and objects, drawing the viewer's attention to the central theme. The use of perspective, scale, and overlapping creates a visual depth within a two-dimensional space. Furthermore, shading and tonal variations enhance the portrayal of values, adding dimension and depth to the composition. This editorial cartoon highlights the plight of rice farmers in the context of government-imposed price caps on rice. The imagery suggests that despite the tireless effort of farmers to produce rice, government policies, as symbolized by the hand holding the price tag, undervalue their hard work. The cartoonist conveys a sense of injustice, where the government's actions appear to adversely affect the livelihoods of farmers, making their efforts seem insignificant. This editorial cartoon serves as a powerful commentary on the agricultural issue of rice pricing and its impact on farmers. Through skillful artistic techniques, the cartoonist effectively communicates a message that resonates with viewers, evoking both empathy and contemplation. The use of visual elements and symbolism enhances the overall impact of the artwork, inviting viewers to reflect on the complexities of the issue and consider its implications for those involved.
The provided context outlined a detailed analysis of the editorial cartoon. The cartoon depicts a man labeled as a fake news vlogger, standing in front of a computer, speaking into a microphone. False headlines such as "Pig Can't Fly" and "Aliens Have Landed in the White House" are displayed on the computer screen. The artist skillfully employs various elements of art, bold black lines for the outlines, creating simplicity and clarity, a mix of geometric and organic shapes for visual interest, and a black and white color scheme for seriousness and urgency. Additionally, principles of design are adeptly utilized. The principle of the balance brings stability, placing the man centrally with the computer screen in the background, achieving symmetry and order. The principle of contrast adds visual interest and emphasize, starkly concentrating the black and white as well as bold lines against the white background, drawing the attention of cartoon message. In terms of interpretation, the cartoonist aims to critique the proliferation of fake news. The depicted blogger is unmistakably disseminating false information, highlighting the danger of misinformation. The cartoon serves as a cautionary message, urging viewers to scrutinize online information and distinguish between the real and the fabricated news. In the judgment, the cartoon is lauded for its execution and persuasiveness. The artist effectively employs artistic elements and design principles to create a visual, appealing, and thought-provoking piece. Moreover, it carries a crucial and ambiguous message, making it an understanding example of editorial cartooning. Overall, is it considered as an excellent and impactful work of art.
The art talks about the COVID-19, specifically a patient who's lying about his COVID-19 status. The elements that is visible in the artwork is lines, shape, space, texture, value, and form. The artist apply proper contrast to the image, such as the light and dark and being small, to create visual interest as well as emphasizing the important elements in the artwork. The patterns, such as the shapes, lines, is well organized. It adds structure to the composition. The movement is also noticeable in the art. It directs through the viewer's eye through the composition. The unity of all elements makes the art more understandable and really work together. The artist wants to remind everyone when they have the symptoms of COVID-19, they should be honest and always tell the truth on what they feel. Telling the truth will be lessen the possibility of infecting the frontliners who's accommodating you or the other people you socialize with. Telling the truth about what you feel is not just helping yourself to recover, but also you're helping the frontliners to trace other people you socialize with because they have the possibilities to be infected. The artist was able to convey the message clearly to the people because he used the elements and principles properly and correctly.
Good morning everyone, I am Joshua Jules Baluyot. So, this cartoon shows that President Marcos giving bags of seized illegal imported rice to the crowd of underprivileged people. Standing in the middle of the picture, President Marcos is wearing a suit and is holding a sack of rice. The recipients of the rice are pictured in simple clothing with optimistic looks on their cheeks. And the rice bags are clearly marked, confiscated smuggled rice. It looks that a small urban people context is represent. This editorial cartoon makes use of several important artistic principles. The usage of symbolism is demonstrated by visual depiction of rice sacks bearing the label of confiscated smuggled rice. This represents the government's action against criminal operations and its dedication to dispersing stolen resources for the benefit of the unprivileged people. The focus of the piece is President Marcos, who is highlighted for his participation in and accountability for his charitable deed. The people dynamics at play are highlighted by the contrast between his fancy outfit and the modest apparel of the beneficiaries. The editorial cartoon probably aims to deliver a complex message. First off, the stolen rice serves as a symbol of President Marcos' efforts to combat corruption and smuggling. Second, it emphasizes the value of social justice and income redistribution by portraying him as a kind leader who is concerned about the well-being of the poor. It might also imply that such deeds help political leaders develop a favorable public image. The editorial cartoon's overall message on political leadership, social fairness, and governance is strong. It effectively conveys a message of governmental action and care for the less fortunate using visual symbols and composition. Its influence comes from its capacity to people to think about how leaders might reduce economic inequalities and ensure equitable resource distribution.